Without Boundaries that recounts the stories of 60 victims and eyewitnesses to Hamas's atrocities on October 7th of 2023. Now, 23-year-old Alon Penzel, a former spokesman for Israel's coordinator of government activities in the territories, published this book in June of 2023, and shortly afterwards it was banned from Amazon for reportedly violating company guidelines. Since fighting that ban, the book has now risen on Amazon to the top spot of several Amazon lists, and Penzel has been touring to promote it. But earlier this week, he was subjected to what he is calling an anti-Semitic attack at an international airport in London while he was carrying his book poster. Joining us now is Alon Penzel himself, the author of Testimonies Without Boundaries. So, Alon, tell us what happened to you in the airport and how you're dealing with it right now.
So on one hand, I want to say that this is incomprehensible, but on the other hand, I would probably say that this is not surprising at all because we're living in the dark days of Germany of the 1930s. This is how I am feeling. And at the airport, I was already through security, through check-in, when a person from the security department spotted me with a sign that reads my name, Alon Penzel, and the name of the book, Testimonies Without Boundaries, when he decided to start accusing me for, and I'm quoting, illegal occupation that has been carried out by Israel since 1948, saying that October 7th was one incident since the occupation, and the sign might be found offensive to some people at the airport. Obviously, he was calling to more security in
that
his device.
Was the poster you were
That
holding.
was the poster, the sign that I was holding. He was calling to more people, security in the device. They took my passport and they said they would let me know if I'm able to fly or not after they look at the CCTV, the security cameras, as if I did anything wrong, as if I did need their permission to know if I'm able to fly or not. And this is a pure anti-Semitic incident. However, I want to emphasize, I'm not here as a victim. I'm here as a fighter. I will not tolerate anti-Semitic incidents. I will not tolerate anti-Semitism in Europe. We have to speak up. We must speak up. I'm calling for all Jews in the diaspora. Be proud of your identity. Share your resilience, your strength, your power. We have to speak up, and otherwise it will just get worse.
And this was in Luton Airport, which is an international airport in the United Kingdom. So have you been pursuing kind of any response to those who instigated this incident in the airport?
Unfortunately, not yet. And unfortunately, I'm definitely going to fight until this man is fired, because he has to be held accountable for his actions. Otherwise, it will happen again to more people. And again, this is where I emphasize we have to speak up. Otherwise, these incidents will just go on.
Right. Now, you have had a rough ride, to say the least, since publishing this book. Tell us about kind of some of the issues that you've faced along the way and why you think this book sparks so much controversy. I mean, it's not opinion. These are testimonies that you've collected from actual victims and eyewitnesses of the atrocities on October 7th.
Testimonies that I was collecting from Nova survivors, Zaka volunteers, and Israel's Medical Forensic Institute, and I think that it draws controversy because it is completely uncensored and sanitized, completely graphic, as I feel I don't have the legitimacy to soften the atrocities, and that if we want to fight worldwide denial and anti-Semitism, we have to provide all the uncensored details of the attack. This is why it draws attention. Unfortunately, it was blacklisted on Amazon initially. Now it is available on Amazon, and it, as you mentioned, reached already the top spots in some of its categories. We have the obligation to make sure we commemorate our brothers and sisters. This is what I've been doing for the last 3 months in my book tour. Last week, I addressed the British Parliament in the House of Lords. I was reading to the Lords and the Parliament members each of the testimonies in the book in the most elaborated and graphic ways, with all the details, from kids who were slaughtered using hammers and knives to people who were tied up using metal wires that were inserted into their bodies. Because I believe that we have the obligation to provide all the details so the October 7th won't be denied. It already is. This is the only way we can fight it.
What comes next for the book? I understand that you've been now on a book tour, but I understand that the Israeli Foreign Ministry is also helping you get this book out there. Tell us what we can expect now.
So the Israeli Foreign Ministry, in cooperation with me, I'm continuing to Australia and New Zealand, the United States again, South Africa. I'm continuing to talk to parliaments, to parliament members, to all over the world, because there is no other way to make sure we fight that denial. I'm definitely going to make sure this book is spread all over, and I'm calling whoever is watching us right now. I can't do it all by myself. We need people to not only purchase the book, but also read it. As hard as it is, as challenging challenging as it is, be exposed to the atrocities and share them forward. We have the obligation to do it.
All right, Alon Penzel, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us. I hope that I'm going to get a copy of this book myself.
Of course.